and welcome to the Winning Daily Show. We're here for October 19th. The NBA is kicking off today, which means we get to have more and more of these Winning Dailies daily instead of going through the week and time in football games. We got a lot of bets to go through today. We're going to get into some of the Champions League. We're going to get into a little bit of the Major League Baseball playoffs. NBA kicks off. We got a 2-game slate. We're going to bet on both those games. We got a couple same-game parlays. We got a couple player props in those for some fun. And then we're going to throw in a little NHL for that today. So, as these games come more and more, NHL season gets into it, NBA season gets into it, college basketball's a couple weeks from kicking off. We can have more and more of these winning dailies, actually daily, as there's more and more stuff to bet on day to day than just the football, which is usually about once a week, and we don't have many bets, so we can't put it together a long show. But NBA kicks off. Let's start out with some fun, but let's first start out in the Champions League. We're going to start up with that matchup of Atletico Madrid versus Liverpool. We're going to take Atletico Madrid at home, plus 105 versus Liverpool. Draw no bet here. I think that's good value. Atletico Madrid has beaten Liverpool, if you remember, in the Champions League in 2020, knocking those defending champions out. They had a one-run draw in 2017 in the Audi Cup. Once again in the Europa League in 2010. I know this doesn't factor, but it speaks to a play. Atletico Madrid won 1-0 in one of those. Liverpool won 2-1 in the other. That shows Atletico Madrid can play with this Liverpool team. Has Atletico's results been a little shaky of late? Yes. But coming off that, they're coming off a 2-win over Barcelona. They're coming off a 2-1 win over AC Milan. So they've been in a little bit better form here. Liverpool's coming off great form. A waxing of Rawford at 5-0. Draw 2-2 at Man City, which was a hell of a game. 5-1 win over Porto. But I will say this, Liverpool has struggled in the Champions League, especially in the group stage on the road. I think that'll happen here again in Madrid. They're in a group where Liverpool is already at 6 points, so this isn't that important to them. Liverpool sits at 4, Porto sits at 1, AC Milan at none. So these two really probably already are easily moving ahead in the group. Porto would really have to play well. AC Milan would really have to come on. Very important game for AC Milan versus Porto today. We'll see how that plays out. But I think this hovers in a draw with a chance that Atletico Madrid can steal it as Liverpool plays a midweek game. Got a big game coming up over the weekend, so I don't know how focused they'll be, what sort of lineup they're going to put out there. I'm going to ride Atletico Madrid on this bet, plus 105, draw no bet. Next up, we're going to Ajax and Dortmund. This should be a really entertaining game. Ajax in great form so far. Now, granted, that's in their the Dutch league, but they are undefeated so far in the Champions League group stage. 6 points, Dortmund 6 points. Bestis against Sorting CP both have 0. So that's why we're going to play this today. This game doesn't really factor all that much. These two teams should be easily moving on with these two sort of lower level teams in their group. The last time these two teams played in the Champions League was 2012. I don't think that factors all that much into my bet, but Dortmund won 4-1 in that one, so that should factor a little bit. It shows it's already high scoring. We're going to go with an over of 5.5. We think this will be an open game. Lots of scoring, lots of fun in this one. Plus 425 is that over for 5.5. If you want to do a little 3-3 on the actual score, I would think that's a decent bet. If you want to go a little 4-2 for Dortmund, maybe that's an all right bet. But also on actual score, I like both those, but I won't give those out. But those were, I believe, really big. One was like 22-1. One was like 16-1. So take a look at that 3-3, 4-2 Dortmund in the score line. But we're going to go over 5.5. Plus 425 in that one. We're going to get a little bit of an adjusted goal total over. Next up, we're going Sheriff, who's so far undefeated in group stage. 2 upset wins. one over Shakhtar Donetsk, one over Real Madrid. They're on top of the group. I'm not missing out on them again. They've been playing good soccer in this group stage. Can they go to Inter and win? I don't know. But at 13-1, I'm not taking this team down. They sort of can. They dominate their domestic league so easily. They can take these games really, really serious. Inter's coming off, a tough game versus Laszlo where they got up 1-0 and then Laszlo dominated in the second half. So maybe Sheriff can come in there, maybe sneak that out. We're going to go with the draw no bet in this one as well at 13-1. Like that value with the way Sheriff's played. Maybe they could spring another upset. And lastly, we're going PSG to win and over 1.5 goals in this one. That's at -140. Leipzig really hasn't found their form too much, especially in the Champions League here. So I think PSG can maybe find a way to get some goals here versus an open Leipzig team. PSG -140, over 1.5 goals on that one. Let's move into Major League Baseball. We got a couple player props in this one. We're going to go Carlos Correa, over a run scored +130, and then we're going to also take him at +9-1 to win, have a home run. So we think the Red Sox made fun of Carlos Correa a little bit last night. Maybe he gets his revenge today. So we got him over a run scored at +130 and home run at +925. Then we got the Barstool Sports exclusive ones. We got Charlie Morton and Walker Buehler, each to throw a strikeout in the first inning. And the Braves and Dodgers score no runs. That's at +300, so you get a little bit of boost there. Buehler, Morton, both a strikeout. Braves, Dodgers, no runs scored in the first inning. That's a Barstool Sports exclusive boost at +300. Like that one there. And then we got Dodgers, Red Sox, both to win +200. I really sort of like this Red Sox bet, but I think the Dodgers probably find a way to win today. Mix that with the Red Sox. That's a boost to 200. If you don't have if you aren't a Barstool sports book better, just parlay those two on the money line. I believe it works out to about 160 or so. I still think that's a pretty good bet. So Dodgers, Red Sox, both to win on the money line, +200 if you're on the Barstool Sports exclusive. Anywhere else, I think it's about 160, 170. All right, let's move into the NBA. We got a lot of NBA stuff to get to. I told you I bet on both games. We're going to take the underdog in both games. Brooklyn Nets +1.5 versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Ring ceremony night. Big matchup. I think Brooklyn comes in there and gets the win. So we're going to take that 1.5 over Milwaukee. Maybe they come out a little flat in the first half. Maybe they don't with the way Giannis leads this team. Refocus. But I think the Nets take this one. We're going with Golden State +3.5 versus the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers have really, I think, are going to get off to a slow start on this season. So I think this will be a tight, close game. I think the Lakers will win, but I do think Golden State will cover the spread. If you can find a one where you have Golden State halftime, Lakers win the game, I think that would be a really good bet as well. Next up, Jordan Poole, over 19.5 points at +500. We're going to make a same-game parlay here. Jordan Poole, over 19.5 points. Steph Curry, over 6 assists. Russell Westbrook, 8+ assists. So we got Jordan Poole to score 20 points. Curry to have 6 or more assists. Russell Westbrook to have 8 or more assists. That's +500. Really like that same-game parlay. Think that's really good value at 5-1 there. Jordan Poole's been lighting it up in the preseason. I think he continues to light it up, gets those 20 points. If he gets those 20 points, it's going to be Curry feeding him, getting into that lane, kicking out. They've had a really good sort of two-man game going here. So Curry, 6+ assists, Westbrook 8+ assists, Jordan Poole 19.5 points +500. Another same game parlay. We're going Blake Griffin points over 5.5. James Harden points over 25.5. Drew Holiday over 17.5 points, and Giannis 1 3-pointer made. This one didn't have quite as good of odds. 4-teamer +525, but I think that Griffin one's pretty easy. I think the Giannis one's pretty easy. You got those two middle ones. Harden over 25.5. Holiday over 17.5 is where this one will probably live or die. I think Holiday's going to have a good game. So really, I think it's Harden and the 25.5. Can he get that point total? We'll see. But I do like that one. 525 same game parlay. Last same game parlay that we have, we're going Brooklyn money line. Drew, 15 points and assist combined. Harden, 40 points, rebound, and assist on the over. Lopez, 1+ block. Harris, 20 points. That plays 700 in that same game parlay. I do think this one's pretty easy. 15 points and assist for Drew. Easy to go. Lopez, 1+ block. So you're getting in there with two easy ones. You got two hard ones to get. Harden, 40 points, rebounds, and assists. I do think he hits that probably in the 20s somewhere in scoring. I look for him to be 10 to 13 assists. It's if he can get those 7 rebounds. Maybe he has a good points day. So I think there's good value in that 40 PRA. But the hard one, Harris, 20+ points. But I look at it this way. Yes, Harris has, I think, a little undervalued because he didn't play great in that series versus the Bucks. He's going to get a lot of open threes today. The Bucks tend to give up those open threes, and I think Harris will be able to hit them, especially in this regular season game. So I think there's good value. Essentially, you got two easy ones. One I think is pretty good to hit, and then you have that difficult one of Harris at 20 points. So I think the value there at plus 700, really, really good. Next up, we're just going to do some individual props. Joe Harris over 11.5 points at minus 127. Also, 3-pointers made over at 2.5 at even money for Joe Harris. Carmelo Anthony under 12.5 points at plus 100. I don't think this is a good game for him. Way too much running around. He's going to have to... I just don't think there's good value. He'll either have to guard a Wiggins, he'll have to guard, Jordan Poole. It's just not a game for him. I think under 12.5 points. We already mentioned it, Jordan Poole. We're also going to ride the over 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. If we think he's getting over 20 points, he could probably find, a couple more rebounds and assists there. So 23.5 points, rebound, and assist over minus 113. Chris Middleton, plus 160 head-to-head most points. If you get one of those good Middleton games, I think he could be in and around 22 to 28 points. I think that's in and around where Harden is. Good value at the plus 160 there. And Patty Mills over 8.5 points. Really like this value. I think he'll be getting a lot of minutes here. I think he's easily a 10 to 13 point a game scorer for this team with the amount of open shots he's going to get. So minus 113. Patty Mills over 8.5. Next up, another Barstool Sports exclusive. Kevin Durant and Giannis Antetokounmpo each to score 30-plus points. That's plus 250. That's boosted, but you could probably find that pretty much anywhere in the same game parlay section of any sports book you use. So Durant, Giannis over 30, each to score 30-plus points. I got it boosted to 250. I think it was 210 if you go regular style. All right, last but not least, we're going to move into the NHL. We're going to start out with the Montreal Canadiens, minus 155 over the San Jose Sharks. The Canadiens have gotten off to a really, really bad start so far this season, 0-3. Sharks go up there with one win. I think they'll struggle here. I think the Canadiens will be able to take this game here at home, minus 155. Look for Montreal to get off the schneid, get a win today. Next up, Seattle goes across the country to New Jersey. Seattle, 1 win, 2 losses. I look for them to play solid hockey at home, but struggle on the road, especially with this New Jersey team, who I think will just be a dominant home team. I really think this will be an easy win for New Jersey at minus 150. Next up, Colorado Avalanche. We're taking one road team here this in this slate, and it's the Colorado Avalanche going to the Washington Capitals. Washington Capitals usually get off to slow starts. I really like the Avalanche here, so I think there's good value here, even if it is cross-country on the road early in the season. Colorado minus 125 over the Washington Capitals. And lastly, we're taking the Nashville Predators. Also, like the Canadiens, gotten off to a slow start. I think home ice will be big here. The Nashville's 0-2 so far at home. I think they'll find a way to win this one, not get off to an 0-3 start at home. So look for Nashville minus 140 over the Los Angeles Kings. All right, those are our bets for today on Winning Daily. We'll be back tomorrow with some more Champions League, full slate of NBA, so look out for that. Be sure to like and subscribe to all our YouTube podcast so you don't miss any of the action. Like, subscribe to Greenlight Network. Don't miss any of the action. Our NBA stuff's going to be dropping here. Me and Achilles Rain recorded a Win Total podcast. We have all our college football, all our NFL. Don't want to miss any of those shows. That's our show, and we're out.